World War II, also known as the Second World War, was a global war that was underway by 1939 and ended in 1945. It involved the vast majority of the world nation, including all of the great powers, eventually forming two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. It was the most widespread war in the history, with more than 100 million people serving in military units. In a state of total war, the major participants placed in their entire economic, industrial and scientific capabilities at the service of the war effort, raising the distinction between civilian and military resources, marked by a significant event involving the mass death of the civilian, including the Holocaust and the only use of the nuclear weapons and warfare. It resulted in 50 million to over 73 million fatalists. This death makes World War II by the deadliest conflict in all of the human history.
The Empire of Japan aimed to dominate East Asia and was already at war with the Republic of China in 1937, but the World War in general is said to have begun on September 1939 with the invasion of Poland by Germany and subsequently declaration of World War on Germany by France and Britain. From late 1939 to early 1941, in series of championing and trade, Germany formed the Axis alliance with Italy, conquering or submitting much of continental Europe. The United Kingdom and the other members of the British were the only major allied forces continuing the fight against the Axis, with battle taking place in North Africa, as well as along the Battle of the Atlantic. In June 1941, the European Axis launched an invasion of the Soviet Union, giving a start to the largest land theater of war in history, which stayed down the major part of Axis military forces for the rest of the war. In December 1941, Japan joined the Axis, attacked United States and European territories in the Pacific Ocean, and quickly conquered much of Eastern Prefix.
The Axis advance was stopped in 1942, after Japan lost a series of naval battles and European Axis troops were defeated in North Africa and decisively at Stalingrad in 1943. With a series of German defeats in Eastern Europe and Allied invasion of Italy and American victories in the Pacific, the Axis lost the initiative and undertook strategic retreat on all fronts. In 1944, the Western Allies invaded France, while the Soviet Union regained all of its territorial losses and invaded Germany and its allies. During 1944 and 1945, the United States defeated the Japanese Navy and captured key Western Pacific islands. The war in Europe ended with the capture of Berlin by Soviet and Polish troops and the subsequent German unconditional surrender on 8th of May 1945. Following the Potsdam Declaration by the Allies on July 1945, the United States dropped 26 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima on 6th of August and Nagasaki on the 9th of August. With an invasion of the Japanese archipelago imminent and the Soviet Union having declared war on Japan by invading Manchuria, Japan surrendered on 15th of August 1945. Ending the war in Asia and cementing the total victory of the Allies over the Axis, World War II altered the political alignment and social structure of the world.